Hello. Welcome to the next section, Advanced Mode. It's time to truly test ourselves with a big challenge, creating an admin dashboard using Bootstrap. In this section, we will learn about the fluid container, the Flexbox layout, Bootstrap custom stacked navigation, the collapse plugin, external plugin integration, single page application loading. This is the final example, so let's face it and nail the Bootstrap framework. Now we move on to the first video of this section that deals with navigation bar. In this video, we're going to first look at the layout which we will build and then start building the navigation bar. In this section, we are going to build such a dashboard. As you can see, the dashboard is composed of a navigation header containing some information, a search bar, and notifications. On the left-hand side is a menu with the sections of the web application. In the center is a set of charts about the page status. It looks good in the screenshot and will look even better in the browser. The page scaffolding consists of the Bootstrap navigation component at the header, which is affixed to the top of the page, a fluid container with two columns. The left-hand side column contains the dashboard menu and is affixed. The right-hand side column is the main content, which holds a set of cards that display some statistics. First of all, before you create any element, create a new file using the same structure that we used in every section. We create a file named dashboard.html and apply the default starter HTML to the file. Now we are ready to go. Let's get started. We will begin with navigation bar. You may be bored of doing navigation bars. However, because of the acquired experience, we will do this one very quickly. We first create a nav element, and inside it, we have created a container fluid and a row. This .row element has a column, just as we mentioned that will be done for the main container. Here, we created the dashboard title and a refresh button. We add this code in dashboard HTML file. For the refresh button, we have used .glyph icon and added a tooltip. So we need to activate the tooltip in the main.js file that we have loaded. In the main.js, we add this code. In the tooltip, we have added a delay. We mentioned this as an option for tooltip, but haven't made use of it so far. This will just delay the appearance of the tooltip for 500 milliseconds, while hovering the refresh link. Inside nav header, we add nav bar toggle, which will be displayed for small screens, and collapse the menu. So far, we just replicated components that we used before. Following our pipeline, we should create some CSS rules to style our page. Although first, let's create some common CSS style. At the beginning of base.css, which is loaded in our HTML, we add these styles. First, we created a common .transition class to be used in multiple cases. Transitions were introduced in CSS 3, and they allow us to create transition effects. In this case, it's an effect of ease in out for any element that has this class. Also, for HTML and body, we changed the background and set the position and height to fill the entire screen. Next, we must add the CSS for the navigation header. We first changed the background, then changed the color of the top left menu, changed the height of navbar and added padding, changed font size and the color of the header. Finally, we changed the color of refresh button. But the most important thing here is the usage of the Flexbox rules. Remember that Bootstrap 4 will support Flex Display, so it is nice to keep using it since it should be the standard in the near future for every browser. Now refresh the web page. We get an amazing result. Following our design, we have to create a search form. So, just after the closure of .top left menu, we add the form code. In the CSS, we have again used the display, flex property. In addition to this, we created a pseudo class rule for .form control. The focus, which is activated whenever the input has focus, in other words, is receiving some text. This focus rule will change the width of the input when you focus the input, which happens when you click on it. We changed the z-index of the glyph icon and shifted it to right. Refresh the web page and click on the input on the search form. Note that we applied the .transition class in this element, so when we focus it, the change of width is smoothed in a transition. To finish the navigation bar, we have to create the right-hand side content of the navigation bar, which we call Nav Menu. This menu will hold the notification list, placed as a button drop-down. After Form, we place this HTML code. We have created a collapse class and added the menu as Nav Menu. Inside this UL tag, we will place the notifications. Right now, we just have this option, but with this list, we can add multiple items in the navigation bar. So, we have added this code for the item. We can say that it is a button for the notification. There is a wrapper element named Button Notifications. Inside it is a badge to verbalize the number of new notifications and a button.btn that must seem like a link, so we applied the .btn link class to it. The button also contains the tags needed for a Bootstrap drop-down button, such as the drop-down toggle class and the data toggle drop-down data property. Therefore, every button drop-down toggle button needs a ul.dropdown menu. Just after button, create the list. Even though the content seems long, it is just a repetition of 3 items with different contents inside our notification list. First, we have created unordered list. Then we created list items which has a badge, image, and some text. Other 2 are also similar. Refresh the page, open the drop-down by clicking on Notification, and you will feel an uncontrollable desire to add some CSS and stop the drop-down from being ugly anymore. Let's add some CSS. So we add this block of code. This part is self-explanatory. Great! This will make the button and notification badge appear more beautiful. Then it's time for notification list. For the notification, we just add some common rules, such as spacing, color, and so on. The only different thing is again the use of Flexbox to align the content. When we refresh the page, we get to see the final result of the navigation bar. Did you notice that the images appear rounded? Do you know why? This is because of the image circle Bootstrap helper class. It is present in every image element. In the navigation bar, the last present component is a picture that, when you click on it, opens a user menu, just like what we did in the example of the web application. With no further delay, let's place the next HTML just after the UL tag of Nav Menu. Save this and refresh the page. So, it is another button drop-down. We will style it a bit. This is the code for it. We are done. Refresh the web browser and see the result. We have successfully completed our navigation bar.